pain. So with this series, the idea is that this is an entire yoga therapy protocol for you to help to increase the strength, flexibility, and mobility of your knees, and also reduce that chronic pain you may be experiencing. So if you haven't yet checked out levels 1 and 2 of this, make sure you go back and you start at the beginning. It's meant to progress, where you add on these exercises, ultimately doing all the exercises from levels 1, 2, and 3 to create a full yoga therapy sequence for your knees. So very important, you start at the beginning. If you're ready for level 3, let's get started, and I've invited my friend Christine to help us out. So I'm going to invite my partner Christine to come over and help us out. So Christine suffers from chronic knee pain as well, and these exercises have been helpful for her. So the first thing we're going to do is some lunges. So Christine, if you can stand in Tadasana at the top of the mat, and then take a big step back with the right foot. Come into a high lunge. So standing lunge, so high lunge. Yes, so the front knee is going to be bent over the ankle, and you're going to be reaching out, lifted heel, toes pointed towards the front, and here's our high lunge. Pay attention to where the tailbone's pointing, belly draws in and up, tailbone towards the floor, and relaxing the shoulders. She can keep the hands to the waist to remind herself to use her core strength and her bandhas. Now, what makes this work is the isolation of the movement. So if you see, she's going to keep that front knee totally still, or at least try to. It's all about intention here. And then bend this knee to hover to the floor, and on an inhalation, straighten the leg. So it's just about straightening and bending the knee, trying to keep everything else the same, bending it down and lifting it up. So again, isolating the movement to the back leg. So you can think about reaching out through the heel, perfect, and keeping this knee really steady. So one more here, and we'll take it to the next exercise. So make sure that, thank you Christine, and make sure that when you do this, you're starting with 1 set of 10 on each leg, progressing towards 3 sets of 10 on each leg. Okay, so for the second exercise, I've got some help. Christine's going to show us the stretch for the calves. So again, we're working the muscles around the knee, because oftentimes with chronic knee pain, they're becoming either spasmed or with extra tension. So first things first, we're going to face the hip bones towards the wall. You're going to take your left leg, and you want to put the foot onto the wall. Now what's really important here, you guys, is that your ball of your foot, the entire ball of the foot, is on the wall, not just the toes. So you may have to take the back foot back a little bit to make that happen, and it may feel really funny. Second thing is to mind your hand position. So you see how Christine's hands are right out from her shoulders? This is what you want. You don't want them too high up. Now, bring your awareness to the hip bones. You can start to lean the chest back as you press the hip bones forward towards the wall. So what you're trying to do is just bring the hips towards the wall. You can even lift the back foot, no problem. Doesn't matter if the chest comes forward. It's all about those hip bones pressing. Do you feel that stretch in your quad? Yes, that's what we want. So you want to stay here minimum 30 seconds. Best if you can stay 45. For some of you, it might be really intense, but even if you have to come for 10 seconds, back off, and then come back into it, continue this practice until you've built up the resiliency to stay the full 45 seconds on each side. At least once, best if it's twice. Okay, so for our third exercise, we're going to come to a standing position. Now you can stand yourself near to a wall and experiment how strong your core muscles are. If you find that you ever need any help with this movement, we'll show a modification at the end to help with your stability. But try it this way first. So you want to ground into one of your feet. For now, we'll ground into the left foot. First things first is check the alignment of your feet. So second toes pointed straight forward in line with the shin. Notice how she had to pivot over just slightly. Now that you've got the alignment of the feet taken care of, start to root into the left foot. Bring the hands to the waist to keep the focus on the belly. And lift the right leg straight forward. You want to point the toe and feel that those muscles all the way from the hip flexor all the way down through the top of the foot. Now, turn, externally rotate, and really try to reach. Straighten the leg, external rotation as much as you possibly can before bending the knee in. Squeeze the heel towards the bum, and then rotate the heel, internal rotation. See how our knee is coming in towards the midline? Now straighten the leg with that internal rotation. The top of the foot is turning towards the inside as much as you can. Now take it again, externally rotate as you draw in the heel. Internally rotate as you extend through that internal rotation. Yes, okay, go ahead and relax. You're going to take that 10 times one way and 10 times the other way. So let's just show the opposite way really quickly. Rooting in, not yet to the wall, but just rooting into the left foot again. We're going to take the movement in the opposite direction. So that time we did external rotation, coming in, internal rotation, extending out. 10 times that way. Now we take it the opposite, where we internally rotate first. So go ahead and straighten the right leg, send it out, pointing through the toes. Try to keep this hip down. Internally rotate. Now bend the heel towards the butt. And externally rotate. Yes. Extending the foot out. One more time just to show. Top of the foot comes in towards the midline and we take it around. So thank you. You can relax. Taking this 10 times in each direction on both legs. Starting with 1 round of 10 and working your way up to 3 rounds of 10 on each side. It becomes really important that you're mindful of your foundation here. As you do this, your body might start to get tired. As it gets tired, your hip might start to pop out to the side. You want to make sure you're grounding into the foot and lifting up. If you want more information about grounding into your feet, make sure you check out our video on the foundations of the feet so you have a better understanding of what that really means. One modification we do want to show, Christine, can you help us see what it might look like on the wall? So if you're having trouble here and you need a little bit of stability at the beginning, maybe when you first start to do these moves, you can simply step a little closer to the wall. Make sure you're close enough to the wall, because what you don't want to do is have to reach to the wall. What that's going to do is make you have to lean over. You don't want that. So notice how Christine's really close to the wall. Her hand is just in line with the shoulders. Bring it down just slightly. And her elbow is tucking in towards the ribs. So it's not compromising her alignment at all. Her shoulders are relaxed and her tailbone is drawing towards the floor. Now she can take the same exact movement. Let's use the other leg this time. And just taking it here with that a bit of support from the wall, taking the same movement. So these are the 3 different exercises for level 3. As I mentioned before, these are meant to be used in combination with the exercises in level 1 and level 2, each level building towards the next. So make sure you're practicing this in its full completion. That's how you're really going to see lots of changes, lots of benefits with the flexibility, mobility, and strength of your knees. You would definitely see a decrease in the knee pain if you follow this protocol at least 3 times a week. I'd love to hear about your progress, or if you guys have any questions as you're doing these practices, feel free to leave a comment and we'll be happy to answer those for you. I'm looking forward to you practicing and experimenting in your own body. Thank you for your help, Christine. I hope her knee's feeling better too. And namaste, yogis.